Alright, well, I recorded an entire video and forgot to hit the record button or start my stream. So I'm just going to do a stream VOD of it here. First and foremost, I'm going to go over kind of the weapons, the attachments, what to look for early game, what weapons you might want to try out that are really good. So let's just get into that, and then we'll get into a match and I'll show some more advanced movement mechanics with the game, and we'll just go from there. So first and foremost, let's talk about weapon attachments. The two attachments in particular that are probably going to cause the most confusion with players is High Caliber and FMJ. High Caliber is a little more straightforward. FMJ, on the other hand, is not. So you'll notice that... Here, let me go to this. You'll notice that with these, High Caliber says increase damage from the stomach up, so it only affects the stomach up, and this affects waist up. Of course, these two are very, very good on the Paladin. It means waist up, generally you're one-shotting people. Now, the issue comes in when you use FMJ, because you see High Cal, both of these increase the damage, right? They increase the damage by 2 pips. When you go to FMJ, it also increases the damage to pip, but it doesn't actually increase the damage the weapon does. Only High Caliber does. FMJ penetrates armor and does more damage to, like, razor wire or attack choppers. It does more damage to, like, equipment and stuff like that. It doesn't really do any extra damage to players. The only thing this will do is it will penetrate armor and one-shot a player if they have it and you have both High Calibers on. That's why I run double High Cal FMJ stabilizer on my Paladin, because just that one FMJ will penetrate armor enough to kill. If you don't have FMJ, it will not penetrate armor and it will not kill. Although armor is generally not very good in this game. It's something to consider and think about, whether your weapon has FMJ or not and what it does. Because it shows that it increases the damage, but it does not. All it does is increase armor penetration and damage to... as it says here, vehicles and equipment. It also does a little more damage through walls, but I mean, most of the time that's not really going to be something you're interested in, so it's kind of a waste. So getting FMJ2 is almost kind of a waste of a slot. So early game, if you're looking to level up quickly, the weapons you're going to be looking at are most likely going to be the ICR-7. The ICR-7 is incredibly powerful. It's very, very efficient. One of the main bonuses of it is you have to level it up to 12 to get this, I believe, is Grip 2. What Grip 2 will do is it almost maximizes the amount of recoil, or minimizes it, so you do not recoil much at all. And when you get shot in this game, you have a significant amount of weapon flinch where your aim will bounce up. And Grip 2 on the ICR, which is why a lot of people run it, negates that a significant amount. So it makes this weapon next to like a laser beam. So if you're really good at aiming, it's very, very, very good. And that's mainly just for this weapon. Each weapon has their own set of attachments. So like if I go to the Rampart will not have Grip 2. It'll just have Grip 1 to reduce the recoil slightly. And once again, these High Calibers are different from the Sniper High Cal. This is only headshots, and this is only upper chest. So you will not do any bonus damage if you do not hit those targets. So if you find yourself mainly aiming at people from like the stomach down, using these attachments and this weapon is probably not going to be very good for you. If you're not that great at aiming, you should probably look maybe towards the KN7 or the Vapor. But the Rampart is mainly about upper chest headshots doing massive damage. And once again, FMJ only for armor. You maybe only need FMJ1, FMJ2 isn't very worth it. Long barrel is kind of interesting. Most maps, you're not really going to need this. It's useful on a couple specific weapons like shotguns, but long barrel just increases the range of before you take off fall-off damage. So let's say if you shot someone and you're without long barrel, they would take 40, but with long barrel, they might take 50 to 60 if they're far enough away. So long barrel is very helpful on some maps, but other maps it's kind of a wasted slot. So if you really like a weapon, you might want to make a couple different loadouts for that weapon. But most of the time, I don't really think you need long barrel. A long barrel, on the other hand, on shotguns is incredibly useful. You can see with the range, if I do not have long barrel, it almost doubles my range. You can see when I put it on, it adds 2 pips. So long barrel is incredibly powerful on shotguns. I'd use it every single time on the shotguns. When it comes to... we've talked about FMJ, we've talked about high caliber. We've talked about grip. Let's talk, and mainly if you're, like I said, early game, if you're looking for weapons, you're gonna look at the IR-7. It's pretty solid. This weapon, it's pretty solid, nothing crazy, no weird little headshot or upper chest gimmicks. The MX-9 and the Spitfire, as far as early game are concerned, the Spitfire is incredible. You'll notice the Spitfire, compared to other weapons, has an operator mod. To get the operator mod slot, you have to level the weapon all the way to max. Yo, what's up, Fire God? I'm doing a little, just kind of going through some stuff, and then I'm just making this kind of small video for YouTube. So, I'll respond. But I'm just doing this, and I'll jump in a match here real quick. So, if you're looking to get the operator mod, you have to level it to max. And then you can equip the operator mod by going to your wildcards and using the primary or secondary operator mod slot for your weapon. The Spitfire, the SOG is kind of later, so you might not get it early games, but the Spitfire is crazy good if you can get it early. The wildfire attachment is absolutely insane. If I had to be running the Spitfire, I'd probably run Laser Sight 1 and 2, FMJ, and so I'd like Laser Sight 1 and 2, FMJ, and then that operator mod for the thing. See, it maxes out the fire rate. It's pretty nuts. So you talked about the ICR, talked about the KN, Spitfire, SOG. The Paladin at this point, tab on those haters, yeah. The Paladin, I believe, is probably the one-shot sniper you're looking for. The Outlaw, SDM, and Kioshka are all weapons that revolve mainly around headshots. The Paladin is the, like I said before, with the double high cal FMJ is gonna one-shot from the body up, so you're really gonna want this if you're really gonna snipe and you don't want to really focus on headshots. So I'd suggest the Paladin for sniper people. I haven't tried the tac rifle, so I can't say much. When we're talking secondaries, you've obviously probably already seen, but I have the gold knife, which is really hard to get because of this one right here. 5 kills without dying 5 times, with all kills coming from the combat knife. This might be easier in like larger control-based modes, but I got this in TDM, Team Deathmatch, so it's pretty rough to get, but I like it a lot. Other thing to know when it comes to camos, there's actually on weapons zombies specific camo, so you can actually get camos from zombies as well. And do I have it unlocked, so can I show it? No, but you'll notice if you see this little arrow icon up here on this weapon, if you go to the weapon and you hit up on the arrow, on your like arrow keys, you'll see it'll pull up a different variant of the weapon, the Carbon Cobra, compared to the gun itself. So that's also something to notice and to take care of. They said they're going to release more for later weapons, but right now only the Maddox, interesting, it's my name, is there. So, alright, enough of just talking about random shit. Let's get into a match. If you're looking to just level up, I would recommend picking Crash. He gives your team a crazy amount of points, and you get a crazy amount of XP using Crash. So, I would highly recommend using him for just straight up levels and XP. If you want to really do some damage, if you're more like a playmaker, use Ajax. His 9-bang is really good, and so is his ballistic shield.
It's also them. You know my preference.
One thing to note that's very special, I won't say special, but one thing to note about the reload cancel. So when you let's say you reload the shotgun, that animation will stop you from firing the whole time, right? But if you so let's say if you shoot your weapon, right? If you double tap the quick swap button, so if you reload and then you double tap, I did it wrong. So when you reload, if you double tap the quick swap button after you reload, it instantly removes that and you're able to shoot. So you don't have to go through that entire full reload animation. You can double tap your quick swap button, which is defaulted to 1, and you're ready to fight instantly. Saves you a bit of time and it's pretty damn useful, I would say. The other thing that's really useful as far as like advanced movement, you've seen I have the gold knife, so I've knifed a lot and I've had to learn how to move in the game a lot. So moving in the game is very important. One of the things you'll notice is if you climb over something like this, it's very slow and you go into an animation where you cannot aim, right? So it's very slow and you cannot aim. So what you're going to want to do instead, I just got fucked. What you're going to want to do instead, this goes for anything, trucks, boxes, that kind of shit. Instead of doing that climb animation, if you slide and then jump before, you'll jump on top of things and you won't have to do that climb animation. It's very useful. I accidentally hit the edge of that. If you try and go on something that's too high, it'll still get you the climb animation, but on low things, so you picked up the assault pack, 50 free points for me. So the slide jump is very important so you can get on top of things without slowing down your mobility. And it doesn't make like a crazy amount of difference and it doesn't really seem like it. But over time, I fucked up. But over time, it gets you to where you need to be faster, especially when you're fighting against people that are running fast. What am I doing? I'm recording some shit. I'm gonna make a small little video to throw on YouTube. The other thing to note about doing the slide and then the jump, instead of climbing over walls like this, it allows you to just slide and jump on top of them, which is really good for mobility. And the secondary thing you want to use the slide jump for is normally you would just climb out of a window, and that's very slow and not very effective. But if you use the slide jump and you get to the window, that was not very good to do it on. But if you slide jump when you get out the window, you can slide when you come out the window and get a burst of speed. It's very useful. Is all I play is COD? No, I do play other games. Just right now, COD is a lot of fun, and I enjoy playing it. So I'm going to be playing it for a good bit.
Recon.
But I am just making a video. So, mainly using the slide jump is very important.
Enemy Hellstorm detected.
What? That's a no-reg. Okay. But that's mainly it. There's not a lot of things in the game that are specific.
Assault pack's down. Come get it.
Why did I say? Sometimes people want to be jerks. And that's not great. Once again, can't see reload animation, speeds things up quite a bit. Canceling your reload for all weapons is very important. It allows you to always be on the go.
Winning this. Requesting strike team support.
Yeah. But no, I was just wanting to talk about those small movement mechanics and do that kind of little overview. Kind of like a tips and tricks kind of thing. Just because I wanted to make a video on it. See right there? If I would have slid correctly, I wouldn't have had to do that climb animation. And I almost died because of it. So slide jumping is very useful.
UAV available for tasking. Care package on standby.
UAV inbound for commencing surveillance operations. UAV
Q stores open.
50% expected.
Let me climb up, please.
The UAV has been destroyed.
This...
Troops in contact.
See UAV available.
In position.
Yeah, that place doesn't like you to climb up a lot. But
Attack him. Deploy care package on my
anyway,
brig.
definitely moving around
Midway
with the slide jump is very effective. It also jumps you pretty far. The one thing about the slide jump is when you jump on something, you can also slide again when you jump on top of something. So if you slide, jump, and then slide, you can slide again. But if you just jump and then try to slide, like if I jump and then try to slide here, it sometimes works, but sometimes it doesn't. So I like to use the slide jump just because it changes your hitbox a lot.
Launch Hellstorm on my mark.
Hellstorm kill.
Supplies.
And also when you're
First
using
come, first
people
serve.
like, oh my god, I'm
Close.
bad, dude.
Reach out and take it.
Mainly, the main thing to learn about is the reload animation cancel,
Activating barricade.
which is really useful, and the slide jump, which can save you time getting places. We already talked about guns and attachments, but most of the game is pretty straightforward. You just shoot, play the game, shoot the thing.
We're losing the fight.
Nothing too crazy. You'll feel like you die behind walls a lot because the tick rate of the game, and that's just the way it is.
Tango down.
You've taken the lead.
Oh, I was the last death. Alright, whatever.
There goes my bottom line.
But yeah, I guess that'd be my little tips and tricks kind of section. There's nothing too crazy. Also, when you hear that beep, 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 that's a sensor dart, and they get to see you through walls. Sensor dart's kind of crazy and annoying to deal with. And I guess as a last thing, depending on your play style, different operators might be better or worse for you. So like if you like to sit back and chill and like kill people that are rushing you, shit like that, you probably want to pick someone like Torque. I'll show. You want to pick someone like Torque that is going to be able to put down razor wire and walls so people can't get to you very easily. Speaking once again of FMJ, FMJ increases damage to these barricades and these man-made things that they put on the map, like UAVs, barricades, razor wires, tac deploys, seekers, all this kind of stuff. So if you like killing that kind of stuff, FMJ is also useful for that. But anyway, that's kind of really it for the video at the moment. A lot of things are set in stone. I might do like specific map related things and map related movements, or just kind of full map gameplay things. But that's about it for me. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Later.